Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala Nabi Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. I thought I could get away. MashaAllah. It wasn't my week. We thank Allah always for being able to be here. And alhamdulillah, we like to bring up things that we hope will have some effect on all of us, including myself, more so than anyone else. But I was talking to a married couple, and they were considering divorce. And it's one thing that you want to tell people to avoid is divorce. And so one of the questions I asked them was, what are your weak character points? And neither one of them could come up with answers. But if I was to ask them, what's the weak points in your spouse, then they could give you a whole list. But they couldn't say what my own weaknesses are. And I think, from my own experience, this is the biggest problem, that when two people are in marriage, and sometimes they both think they're just near perfect, and it's the other person that got the problem. And they won't say I'm perfect, but they'll say, I really can't figure out what, I don't really know what my weaknesses are. So there's an assumption that really I'm doing pretty good because I don't have these faults. And this is what causes a lot of friction, because we're not self-examining our own selves. And if there's one thing I learned from marriage, in fact, 2 marriages, 1 divorce, is that there's a lack of self-evaluation, because I'm looking at the other person and saying what they're doing to me, how I'm getting it shorted, how I'm not appreciated. And so as a result, there can't be any meeting. So let me tell you what I find to be the biggest help. And I've been married now 32 years. That's a short time. There's people I know this is 50 years, and older people at 75 years. You think everything was just a bowl of cherries as they went along? Not at all. They went through some real trials and tribulations. And that's all this life is trials and tribulations. But let me not be long and be short. What I found is this, is that there's something that Allah swears by in the Quran. There's many things that He swears by. But this one should have been a curiosity point for us. He swears by nafsul lawama. He swears by a soul that is self-blaming. And it should trigger something. Why would Allah swear by, give honor to this nafs lawama? And the explanation of the scholars of tafsir is that this is the soul that blames itself, and that's the only soul that will be successful in everything. When we start blaming ourselves for the way we are and not somebody else, not our spouse, not our children, not our job, not of this, not of that, we're looking at ourselves and saying, I'm the problem. I don't know which scholar said it, but believe it when he said, or when it was said, when he finds weaknesses among his students, he blames himself for shortcomings that they have. He blames himself. And so the moment we turn away from blaming others and blame ourselves, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala opens up a way for us. And if the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that he was sent to perfect character, what is our goal in life other than to perfect our character? And I'm going to tell you, when you see improvement in your own character, your spouse will come to you and say, what happened to you? Something's different about you. You're not like you used to be. So this, my dear brothers and sisters, is where the work is. I'm not talking about a marriage where there's abuse and there's all these other things, these other horrible things. I'm talking about when people are just, let's say, regular. They're taking care of their responsibilities and whatnot. There's no abuse, there's no, terrorizing each other and all that stuff. It's just two people going through life, dealing with the difficulties that happen, and maybe not having what they consider a good marriage. And what you want to do is not wait for him or wait for her. It's me. I'm going to change. And if we do that, I'm a witness to this, I'm telling you. Your relationship with your spouse will improve. You'll be shocked one day. You say, God, well, alhamdulillah, I'm not going to complain. I'm happy. So this is what it is. Don't try to change the other person. That's a futile exercise. Just focus on me. Nafsul lawama. And if I can change that, Allah changes everything else. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make our nafsul lawama, and we can correct ourselves and be among those whom follow in the footsteps of his blessed messenger Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Allahumma wa bihamdik wa ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta wa astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum.